Alright, what's everybody up to here? I am trying to recall, since I haven't played this game for a really long time, what mission I'm on. I believe I finished the Dead Space missions, yeah? So now we are going to take out Confed's supply route, and I think Cat Scratch is gonna do what's called a milk run, so let's get our wingman here. Who to choose today? Moose is dead. I wonder when he died. Panther, Primate, Turbo. Not many of these guys really inspire confidence. I'm kinda unhappy with my choice here. Let's just go with the, not Excel, but Blade. I tend to fall back on him a lot. He's pretty reliable. I like his comments. Key. Comments was the detective take away my discharge. Not sure what to expect here.
Victims in sight, Colonel. Break
I'm in a nebula.
Taking it to them, Colonel.
Hellcats are usually not a problem. Actually, I'm surprised that every time we've encountered the Excaliburs that they weren't more of a problem. But like I said, they seem to keep putting really bad pilots into the Excalibur, so...
Next victim.
I think I've had bigger problems with the Thunderbolt than with any Excaliburs so far. Usually any ship with a turret could give you more problem, but... No, I mean, like I said, it was pretty scary to encounter the Excaliburs at first, but every time we've encountered them, they have crappy pilots in them, so it's never really that bad.
Sir, Cat Scratch is in big trouble. He's recovered the satellite, but the enemy's tracked him down and leached his craft. He's a sitting duck, sir.
What do you say, Colonel? We gotta scrub our original mission?
So this is kind of one of the main choices you actually make in the game. Do we go after Cat Scratch to rescue him, or do we...
What's it gonna be, sir? Are the mission objectives 86?
Oh, just let me think about it, fella. Usually I just do it, even though I think it's bad to.
What's it gonna be, sir?
He's just gonna keep bugging me every 5 seconds. Gosh, let's just do it. I didn't even really get a chance to think about it.
Can't let the kid die. We're going after him.
I will say that going after him and scrubbing the mission doesn't put you on the losing path. It'd be kind of more interesting if it did, actually, because then the choice would have more consequences. However, he can actually still die here if we don't get to him quick enough. And if he does die, I'm going to restart this mission because it's not worth scrapping the mission and allowing him to die. So I'm going to fire plenty of missiles here. I think as long as you get this first guy out of here, he's the one who's really going after him. The other guys aren't as bad. Is there another longbow? I don't even know. I really can't imagine the Vindicator's laser turret is worth like the cost and speed and maneuverability. Lasers being as weak as they are, I don't think they've ever really gotten me out of a jam. I mean, I've flown the Thunderbolt and the Longbow, and each of those ships, their turrets were strong enough to get you out of bad situations, but... This part's confusing. Do I need to blow up? No, he should have ejected from his ship. So, okay, there's this escape pod. It's kind of hard to see, like, if you've never done this before, this part would be kind of confusing. I think you could probably even kill him by accident by running into his ejection pod. Alright, so there it is. So let's align it to the back of our ship. Actually, that makes me wonder how you would even do this mission if you chose to fly a Banshee. Maybe you don't have the option to fly a Banshee. Strangely, if you're too close to the object, you need to tractor. The tractor beam won't work. Oh, well, that's kind of disappointing. We really didn't get to kill much. Here's Cat Scratch's ship. I think before I've destroyed it, but I'll just leave it here on the off chance that maybe we'll salvage it later. Not that we would know.
Need clearance.
You're cleared, sir, and thank you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, we're happy to rescue your boyfriend, Sosa. What's funny is if you don't go after Cat Scratch and rescue him, like, she's so mean to you and, like, kind of pisses me off because, like, you're trying to, like, save a war from happening. We are going to be pretty mean to Cat Scratch here, though. I've earned myself that right. Okay, let me switch discs here real quick. Always kind of awkward when I have to do this. Yeah, alright.
Hey, get over here. Get over it. What did I say? No, what did I tell you?
I'm really sorry, sir.
I just want to know how the hell you got in that predicament. It was supposed to be a milk run.
I guess I got a little too clever, sir. I fired off a couple missiles as decoys like Maniac was talking about. Only I missed when it really counted, sir.
I should have known.
If I ever hear you handing out advice again, I will personally put a big red bullseye on your back and declare an open season. Hey, I didn't tell him he should do any of that stuff.
And while we're at it, Panther's about ready to perform some below-the-belt surgery on you unless you keep your testosterone levels in check.
Well,
Let me tell you something. There's a lower asshole tolerance around here, old buddy. You better get with the program.
I'll check with you later.
That part can go a little differently too, depending on whether you chose to help Panther deal
That
with
stuff cost us. Cost the border worlds quite a lot.
Maniac or not. Strangely, you kind of expect more of an outcome to that, but there actually isn't one.
Consider yourself on probation. The rest of the decade.
I thought you had the option at least whether or not to ground him. But he deserves to be grounded, otherwise he just would have been dead if we hadn't gone after him. And if I'm not mistaken, like, that may be the last time you even see Cat Scratch. I don't know if you can get him back on the flight roster or not. So let's talk to Pliers here. This is another part that I'm sort of ambivalent toward.
Hey, that's some good news, kid.
I can always use some of that.
Your Karathi pals are pretty helpful with my cloaker gadget.
You got it working.
Yeah, the cat showed me how to get some extra charges out of the crystal that runs it. Problem is, I only got one of them crystals left, so you can forget about having a wingman along. Flying next to a guy who ain't cloaked kind of
See, the
defeats
pitch
purpose
here
anyway,
is that
right?
you can have a cloaking device that works in a limited capacity at the expense of having a wingman. And to be honest, I'd much rather prefer a wingman because it's much more useful than the cloak. The cloak would be useful if I could just go on cloaking over and over again. Just because I'm so nice about it and I don't want to disappoint Pliers, I'm going to tell him to go ahead and do the cloaking device. And there's some tactical use to it that I'm going to employ a bit later, and I'll show it to you. So for now, let's go with it. It's only going to be on one more mission anyway, then we'll never hear about him trying to deal with the cloaking device again. Well, in a sense anyway. Let's find out what's going on in the CIC. Who's that? Ooh, baby. She's all stretching.
46 hours.
46? It's only been 20 for me.
What?
What?
Since I slept.
I like Mark Hamill. He's a good
No, I'm
actor.
talking about how long it's been since Captain Eisen left. He hasn't sent a trans, has he?
Not a glitch. It makes it.
For our sake, I hope he does too. I get the feeling that data he's carrying ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah, it's real thin.
But he'll be able to argue his case convincingly.
Yeah. What if he argues in front of the wrong people?
What do you mean?
As much as I always appreciated Captain Nice, and it is kind of weird how like
That's a much bigger machine than any of us
it
could
now feels
possibly
like
imagine.
even then I've taken him for granted, because like everything on the ship feels much more stable, like much more
Mercenaries, pirates,
in control with him
Confed
around.
craft, our craft.
The unmarked ships?
So we're trying to figure out who all these crazy guys
All
are
the
out
rest
there
of
in
Confed even
space.
knowing about it.
And meanwhile, we come off looking like the bad guys.
You get pushed, you push back.
Giving them legitimate cause to gear up for an all-out
I like
war.
all the intrigue in Wing Commander 4 a lot more
The
than
assembly votes in 5
there
days.
is in Wing Commander
And
3.
they haven't got a clue as to what's
Of
really
course, Wing
going
Commander
down.
3 is obviously its plot is much more straight up, since
How does our little
the
boy
situation is very clear and we all know who our enemies are. And here, you know, like I said, it's a very warranted sequel, because you would wonder what direction Confed's going to go in after all this is over, after the war is over, and, you know, that the political differences would cause people to eventually, there to eventually be conflict.
There's always hope. We die trying.
Let's be very inspirational here.
We get ready for the fight of our lives.
Roger that.
That's more akin to Hawk's sentiment. I like the reaction to the coffee too. He's like, maybe that was another scene. Okay, never mind. Alright, let's conduct our briefing, then we'll take a break here.
Okay, good. Colonel. All right, Lieutenant.
I've given the Admiral a report of what occurred during the last mission, sir. Now his
Yeah,
response
you're
notes
welcome,
that the enemy
Sosa.
pipeline is still flowing.
So it still needs shutting down.
It's hard to beat the bad guys when they keep getting their supplies.
Well, however, an enemy command and control center has been located underground on Sosa 5. So the Admiral's giving you the option of delivering Lieutenant Colonel Decker and his men for a precision strike.
I've studied the schematics. If you can get us down there, we'll need a few minutes to plan an implosion device that'll turn that place into rubble.
It's behind enemy lines, so a shuttle's out of the question.
Makes you wish you could fly invisible.
Yeah, if only I
We have
could
to use the
fly
insertion
invisible.
pods.
The Admiral stated that he's got other Marines in the fleet who can handle this, so he requests that you make the call as to which operation makes the best use of the Intrepid's resources, sir.
Shut down the supply line.
Send Decker in.
Shut down the
You know, if I don't even know if I made it clear before, but I don't really like the planet missions, and just for that reason alone, I don't feel like sending Decker in. I'm just gonna stay up in space and just basically do a really hard offensive here.
I don't like starting something I can't finish. Besides, we'll contribute more to the offensive if we cut off the enemy's supply line. Let's go.
I think we'll still use the cloaking device anyway, whether no, just regardless of which option we had chosen to fly with the cloak or without it. Okay, let's save it here. So when we get back, we are going to finish what we started. See, as you can see here, we don't have a wingman because we're going to be flying with the cloaking device, and I'm hoping to make some good use of it. It's really I don't know, it really is not that worth it compared to flying with a wingman, but it makes for an interesting situation, and so we'll see how we can get through with it. So I will see you guys when I get back.